Dear sisters and brothers, welcome to the Season of Creation 2020 Daily Reflection. I am Marjorie. The theme for this year's Season of Creation is Jubilee for the Earth. During this season, let us celebrate the goodness and beauty of creation, thank God for His love and mercy, and pray that we may care for our common home and give our earth rest from our own greed and destruction, so that it can continue to sustain and govern the earth community. Brother Alfredo Herrera, who will lead us in reflection, is a Maris brother from Mexico. For many years as Maris of Champaña, Brother Alfredo has been assigned to a number of Maris communities and ministries across the Maris world, including Italy, Philippines, and Korea. Among the languages he speaks are Italian, French, Korean, and Spanish, his mother tongue. His current community is in the Korean sector community in Seoul, South Korea. He reflects on God's love for every creature.
It seems to me that this text from the encyclical Laudato Si beautifully gives us the premise, points out to the context, and suggests the tone of this time of reflection that we are about to begin. First, the premise is clear. The whole of creation is not just an auspicious but random or aimless accident. Every creature is an expression of its creator, the fruit of a unique act of love. God is love in continuous self-giving and endless interchange of energy. And He wants the whole of creation to be involved in the same movement, to be loved and to exchange love. The text invites us to free ourselves from all the prejudices that make us believe that others, nature, animal, plants are only there for our service, and that we can use them as if they were unimportant or disposable. It tells us that we are not the center, but one part of this universe, and everyone and everything has a place and a role to play in this universe. It invites us to care and see everything with loving eyes. Fortunately, signs of hope and life are also present. We know of courageous people like Greta Thunberg and the movement she has inspired. In Mexico, there is a group of women called Las Patronas who offer free meals to immigrants trying to reach the American border. Young Blue Maris in Aleppo, Syria, take care of around 2,000 displaced children and their families at the risk of their lives. On the internet, we can easily find many NGOs working for the rise of disadvantaged groups. All of these issues, the negative and the positive ones, remind us of the famous butterfly effect, telling us that we are all connected. Pope Francis calls us to pay attention to the whole picture so that we do not lose perspective of the complexity of reality. This Jubilee for the Earth will make emphasis on the need to treat nature with respect and responsibility. But we cannot do that if we forget the dynamic interconnection that nature has with other human and social factors. What we need, in Pope Francis' words, is a true and integral ecological conversion that brings about a fundamental change in our mind, heart, and behavior. So we need to connect. Third, and finally, let us get involved. We already know and do many things for the protection of nature and the environment. The challenge now is to commit to make connections. All the sufferings of Mother Earth that we mentioned before are not isolated events. They also have to do with our arrogance, greed, indifference, and with our refusal to see the changes we need to make in dealing with ourselves, others, and nature. So let us open our eyes and see the connections. Let us not be contented with external and easy, superficial, ecological activities. Let us have the courage to make the tough connections by going beyond our comfort zones and do something in the areas in which we usually do not pay attention to. In this way, we will really change the story and rewrite the plot of our lives and of history.
Closing prayer. All-powerful God, you are present in the whole universe and in the smallest of your creatures. You embrace with your tenderness all that exists. Pour out upon us the power of your love, that we may protect life and beauty. Fill us with peace, that we may live as brothers and sisters, harming no one. Creative Spirit, enlighten our hearts and remain with your world. Benediction. May God, who established the dance of creation, who marveled at the lilies of the field, who transforms chaos to order, lead us to transform our lives and the Church to reflect God's glory in creation.